Hello, my friends. I'm CJ with CJ Reads Books. I hope you're doing well today. Today, I will be reviewing In the Shallows by Tanya Byrne. To tell you the truth, when I looked up any YouTube reviews on it, I couldn't find anything. It doesn't seem like a very popular book either. And on Goodreads, it wasn't, very out there either. But before I get into all the details, let's get into it. Yeah, so I haven't written many notes for many of the books that I've read so far. I've gotten to a good point where I can remember most of the content in the book, which is great because usually I'm like, I read it and I forget it. So, In the Shallows is a really cute story about Mara and Nico. Nico is Korean British and Mara is Desi. And it's a fantastic LGBTQIA story. Very cute. Now it is labeled as young adult, and I have several issues with that. So on the book dust jacket, it doesn't say anything about anything that's going on. So without spoiling it, this book contains very possessive, obsessive, red flags, toxic, very therapy negative, kid hurting kind of thing. So if you needed any trigger warnings, those are it. Yes, it highlights a lot of the things that do happen in real life. It highlights issues that Asian people do go through, although not to this type of intensity, I believe. And yes, the fictional story. I don't know why Goodreads labeled this as fantasy. Storygraph didn't, so that's okay. I was reading some of the reviews on there, and as cute as the story was in the first place, it made me hate the side character so much. It made me hate the main character so much for being obsessive about the side character. And then halfway through, I felt like the plot just went everywhere. And it was just, there were several points on some of the reviews that made me like, kind of like, which is why I don't read actual reviews until I've read the book. Because, yeah, it's, I think I loved it just because I saw so much of myself and representation in there. It was amazing to see representation of the Middle Eastern or the Eastern culture, not to mention having supportive parents, which usually doesn't happen in our Eastern culture. So, like, having that on top of a love story. Yeah, we were all 15 once, which are the ages of these characters, which also I think is kind of problematic because the frick, man, it's like being possessive and this toxic at 15 is just awful. But you can't judge because we've all been obsessed with someone at 15, I assume, because I went through that phase too. It got more problematic the more I read it, and as bizarre and like off the charts the ending was, I feel like I guessed it pretty well. It said it's a sapphic love story. I didn't see that. I saw like a love struck puppy dog girl falling for this like macho like rock band type of gal, and it was just it definitely a fictional story. I have to remind myself of that because I get immersed in stories so much that I'm like, why is this happening? And then I have to remind myself that it's not real. Just read it and move on. It's not real. So I've been attempting to break apart that in my reviews and stuff and not quite reviewing on that. With that being said, I rated this a 3 out of 5 stars. The plot didn't plot as much as I wanted it to plot, but I loved the use of all the characters, the people of color, the LGBTQIA queerbies, and I wish you would have done more with that. But I'll take what I can get at this point. The love story was definitely not my cup of tea, but I do understand because we've all been there. So that's kind of how a breakdown of why I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. But yeah, if you've read this book, tell me what you think. Down in the comments, start a conversation with me. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me what you thought was problematic. And, or if you hated it, absolutely hated it, tell me. I would love to know and start a conversation with you. Hit all my buttons, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Down below, I have a link to my Etsy store, which I sell blind dates with a book. I also have a link to my Patreon. Patreon is a paid or unpaid service, but if you get a paid membership, you get access to my videos literally a minute after they are edited. So once I finish editing them on here, I usually put them on Patreon first. And with that being said, thank you, Robert Willem, for being my one and only Patreon member. You have been with me since day one, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Never knew my videos and my book reviews would impact someone like that, but it's awesome that I read the way that I do so that I can read more books and gather more information and stuff like that. So that's really cool. And I thank you and I appreciate you. The last link, you can buy me a coffee down below. But if you can't do any of those three and you are struggling, it is okay. I just need 2 seconds of your time. Like, share, subscribe, comment, share my book reviews with a friend. If you think they might like it, share it with a friend. Share me on your socials, all that good stuff. Any engagement helps. Any engagement is good engagement. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this far. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.